Hey guys, Tyrion here, back with another Last Epoch video. So today we're going to be going over a quick rundown of the patch 1.0.3 patch note. I'll be highlighting the most important changes. First, we have changes to two particular skills. If we scroll down here, we have Cloud Gatherer, which is a Falconer skill, which will only apply to one smoke bomb at a time. So we have our Falconer here, and under the Dive Bomb skill, we have this skill here called Cloud Gatherer. Falcon lands inside the area of your smoke bomb lasts longer. This effect can occur once per smoke bomb. So there was a ridiculous gimmick that made it so that you can have multiple smoke bombs and have Dive Bomb affect each one of those, making it so that your Falconer can get a ridiculous amount of ward, having a constant upkeep, kind of like which was a bug. So now they've made it so that there's only one, so that the Cloud Gatherer skill can only apply to one smoke bomb at a time. Next, we have Wandering Spirits, has 30% more spirit reveal frequency. This was a buff that they did. Initially, it looks like they made initial change to nerf it, and then once the game was released, they basically made a buff to bring the power of this skill back up. Next, we've got some updated audio and special effects changes. Here we're reducing the frequency of the Falcon's caw attack sounds and also some other audio changes. Next, we have a huge change, and thank heavens for this change. I feel really bad because yesterday I actually bought two stash tabs that costed around 400,000 gold each, but now basically the stash tabs beyond the first 6 previously costed 10,000 more than each tab. Now stash tabs 7 to 16 cost 2,500 more than the previous tab, and stash tabs beyond the first 16 cost 5,000 more than the previous tab. This results in the cost of a large number of stash tabs being reduced by around 50%. And this is true because they costed me 400,000. Now if I were to buy a new stash tab, it's going to cost me 185,000, which is more than 50% from what I was buying them for yesterday. And I actually have a lot of stash tabs, more than 16. So you can see this is going to be huge for me. So the rest of the patch are bug fixes. Now these bug fixes are related to a survey that 11th Hour Games, the game devs, did, which asked the community whether or not they wanted to see bug fixes fixed immediately or whether or not they would be happy to wait for the next cycle. And it looks like people wanted the bug fixes to be changed immediately. This also means that EHG listened to the community and took on community feedback. This is really, really refreshing to see. Hopefully they'll keep this up in the future, but it also shows how honest the devs are, and this is the kind of thing that really makes Last Epoch very different to other ARPGs out there. So the TLDR of these bug fixes, there were two very big bug fixes. First one is fixed a bug where Profane Veil's vampiric pool gave 40% of the consumed minions max health as ward instead of the listed 4%. So you can see the difference between 40% and 4% is 10 times different. The other bug fix was fixed a bug where Rune Master's passive node Sanguine Runestone's threshold bonus was scaling with the points allocated. So 15% of health regen applies to the ward. These two bug fixes, along with the skill change for Cloud Gatherer on the Falconer, these were making it so that Warlock, Rune Master, and Falconer, they were upkeeping ridiculous amounts of ward. So now that these have been fixed, hopefully this will scale down the power of those masteries a little bit in terms of how much ward they're able to stack up. Without these changes, these classes were pushing thousands of corruption tiers because they were getting ridiculous amounts of ward, and they were basically invulnerable so that they could keep pushing higher and higher content. With these changes, it'll make it so that these masteries are not so overpowered. Other than that, you've got other bug fix changes to some items and some skills. So you have an item called Spine of Malatros, and apparently people have tested this and said that this item was not applying any damage. So now they've changed it so that the damage will apply properly from this particular skill. So that's another good change to see. Other than that, that's the other bug fixes. I'll leave a link for this in the description down below for you to read. That's all for today. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.